ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay. So last time, what did we look at? We saw a few more sandhi rules, right? And in the sandhi rules, we looked at one more interesting way how Panini manages to make things, operations, partly visible, partly invisible, right? And that was the topic was called asiddham, asiddhatvam. What is asiddha? Not accomplished. Not accomplished means it does some work, but its work may not be seen by somebody else, some other sutra. We're talking only in terms of sutras here. And the sutra itself, its existence will not be seen by the prior ones. So there are 2 or 3 asiddhatvam sections in the Ashtadhyayi, but the main one is called the Tripadi, the last 3 quarters of the 8 adhyayas. 8 adhyayas means 4 quarters each, 32 quarters. So the last 3, 29, 30, 31, 32. Those 3 are Tripadi, and the remaining is called Sapada Saptadhyayi. 7 plus 1 quarter, and last 3 quarters. So you divide into 7 and a quarter and 1 3/4. So these, whatever is done in 3/4, the last quarter, is not known. Means that whatever it does will not be seen by the sutras in the first 7 and a quarter. Okay. So what did we see last time? If you have a padanta yakara or a vakara, if this padanta yakara or vakara is followed by ash, then what would happen? The padanta yakara or vakara may be dropped optionally. This is what our rule was. And this rule is not universal. How did Panini indicate it? Lopaha shakalyasya. In the view of shakalya, shakalyasya matena. Shakalya is an acharya. So what does it mean? So we saw, if, let me share the screen with you and then we'll continue from there. Oh, did I open my documents? Just give me a second, okay, before I try to share. Sometimes Word acts up, so I closed all my documents just before class because it was acting up. Now I have to reopen them. Okay, so we'll need this and we'll need that. Just bear with me for 2 seconds, all right? Just need to get my documents open. 71, okay. And then I need, okay, then we'll start with that. Okay. Okay. All right. So last time what did we see? Lopaha Shakalyasya. Right? In that we saw a lot of examples also. So example was what? Asmai Uddhara. Asmai Uddhara. What happens with Echo Ayavayavaha? Becomes Asmai Uddhara. Asmai Uddhara. Now that Asmai Uddhara is this form. And that Yakara at the end of the Pada, Asmai, that Yakara is followed by U, which is an Ash letter. Therefore, the Yakara may be optionally dropped. Understand optionally? You may drop it, you may not drop it. If you drop it, what will be the form? Asma Uddhara. If you don't drop it, what will be the form? Asmai Uddhara. Both are equivalent. There is no difference. Both are legitimate. Is this clear? Okay. And now, if you look at this, you should think that there should be a guna between this a and u. That's the rule. Ad gunaha. When a is followed by an ach, guna should take place. Now, it should become what? Asmodhara. It doesn't become asmodhara. Why? Because this yakara being dropped to make it asma uddhara is being done by a sutra in the Tripadi by 8319. Since the yakara is dropped, now when a sutra before 821, before Tripadi, if any sutra looks at this Asmai Uddhara, it will continue to see Asmai Uddhara. You understand what it means by Siddham? From the perspective of the Sutra Adgunaha, 618788, Riddhi and Guna. 6187 is in Sapada Saptadhyay. When it wants to do an action, what will it see? It will see Asmai Uddhara. Why? Because the Yakara dropping was done by 8319, which is Asiddham with reference to 61. Is this clear? Okay. If this is so, now Asma Uddhara you see, but the poor Sutra Adgunaha won't see. Therefore, it will leave it alone. So what will be the result? It will remain Asma Uddhara. It cannot become Asmodhara. Is this clear? Anybody has a question still about this? Because I received a question in the email. So I just want to make sure that it is clear. So let me look at the question again just to make sure I'm not missing something. So please explain the application one more time. That's what I did just now, Purattara Siddham. Then, should we understand that both these uses are valid? Yes, they are. And when first usage is seen, then we need to understand Lopa Shakalyasya correct. And no further Sandhi rules will apply. Correct. So can you explain Yato va imani bhutani jayante? What is va imani? Explain how do we figure out that Yakara Lopa has happened by Sutra in Purottra Siddham section? See, if that Yakara Lopa, so we'll see that here, right? So we'll, where is that? Can I not leave all the examples here? Okay. All right. So I wonder. Okay. So what is the example? The example was Yato va imani bhutani. So example there is what? Give me one more second. Running. Okay. Control O. Va. The word happens to start with Y. The example there is Y imani. Okay. What is here? I. I plus E. What will happen? H precedes, Ach follows. Echaha ayavayavaha will apply. So sutra will apply. 6178 will apply. And what will you get? Y imani. Now, is there a padanta yakara? Yes. Is it followed by ash? Yes. So what are two possibilities? One, you leave it as it is. Second possibility is what? you use lopa shakalyasa 8319 and make it va, yakara goes imani. So if you and I write in a piece of paper, we are okay. We don't make sandhi necessarily. All right. But in Samhita, in the Veda, if the sandhi has to happen, it has to happen. You can't not make the sandhi. So when va and e is sitting and there is no guna sandhi happening, your question should pop up in your head. Why va imani? Why not vai mani? Ve mani? Va imani should have become what? Ve mani. Correct? Guna. So why not ve mani? There must be a reason. And that reason must be that somebody who has brought about this change will not allow for these two to combine. It's a good guess that likely that some operation has happened in the Asiddham section due to which the Guna Sutra is not able to look at it. Is it clear? So if the questioner still has questions, welcome to raise your hand now. Otherwise, I'll assume the question is clear. Okay? All right. So assuming it is okay, I will now move forward. So now I had left a couple of rules out saying later we will do it. Okay. And these are apadānta rules. I said ato gune we will look at later. I had mentioned it. You may have forgotten. I have not. Okay. Ato gune. And one more we have seen earlier in the context of paribhashas. Ato dirgho yani. 2 sutras. Useful not for sandhi, breaking sandhi, but useful to derive their appropriate forms in Tinganta. Very useful. We have already used it. You may not remember, or I may not have told you the sutra at that time. So what does it say? Ato gune. Number is what? 6197. Now let us see. Let me go and find what we have to find. Okay, Sanskrit classes, references. That's where we have the Sutra Patha. Okay. So now we have the Sutra Patha in front.
So
Now,
seeing only the Word document.
is it? Okay, I'll make sure you see this now in a second. Okay. Shouldn't happen that way normally. Sure. Now, we're okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So now, where are we? 4261. All right. The sutra number is 61. Atascha. Okay. Atgunaha Vriddhirechi. All these are done. What is our number we are interested in?
97. Sorry.
97. So here is 97. So now somebody help me. This is just to refresh your memory, okay? What are adhikaras? You can easily see it in Ashtadhyayi, but good to know where it is. What are the adhikaras?
Samhitayam.
Samhitayam. Good. First adhikara. Then next adhikara.
Achi.
I can't hear clearly. Make sure your audio is clear. If not, I don't hear you clearly.
Achi.
Purva parayo.
Ekah.
Ekah purva parayoho. Good. Ekah purva parayoho. Anything else? Eco and achi is not adhikara. Only achi has got anuvritti. Adhikara means what? It's a topic. Achi is not a topic. It's an anuvritti. Subtle difference, okay? Whatever is an adhikara sutra will go all the way. But every word cannot be called as anuvritti, can't be called adhikara. Adhikara generally means a topic. You should understand adhikara as topic. Don't think adhikara means some right or duty or something. No. Adhikara means a topic. What is the topic? It is samhitayam. Sandhi is a topic. Eco and achi is not a topic. Again, repeating. Don't repeat that. Okay? And I would prefer people raise your hand, because if all of you try to talk simultaneously, I won't know who is talking. Okay. So I don't insist, because then everybody becomes quiet. But it's a good practice if you can raise your hand and answer one by one. Okay. So now Samhitayam Ato Gune is Sutra. What other thing is here? You see, you don't forget this, right? Pararupam Anuvritti. Pararupa Anuvritti is there. All right. Ekaha Purva Parayoho. What does it mean? For both the preceding and succeeding, there is one Adesha, Ekadesha. And what is it? Ekadesha? Pararupam. Because it's in Pararupam is going to 100 and this is only 97. Ataha is what? What case? Likely. Yes, Ramesh.
1-1, Swamiji.
Possible. What else? If it is 1-1, what would be the word?
Oh,
Ata. What will
Yeah.
Ata mean to you?
correct. So
So what is likely to be?
it should be 5-1
Or?
or 6-1.
Good. Among the two, which is more likely?
Uh.
Keep the adhikara in view. Ekaha purva parayoho. Which is likely?
6-1.
No.
Oh, 5.
Why? Why did you say 6-1? See, look at this. Ekaha purva parayoho means one should be preceding, one should be following. For preceding you is 5-1, for following you is 7-1. That is what you will find in most cases here. Because there should be one preceding, one following. Right? So if you look in Ekaha purva parayoho adhikara, look at this now. At gunaha. What is anuvritti? Achi. Achi is 7th case. What would at be? 5th case. Vriddhirechi. Echi is 7th case. What is in 5th case? At. So typically in Purva Parayoho, you will find what? 5th and 7th case. That's what you will find. So what is likely to be in Eka Purva Parayoho? If it's 5 and 6, guess 5. You're more likely to be right. Of course, you have to verify. But that is more likely to be right. So now we are seeing what it is. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, once because Gune is in the 7th case,
Yeah.
so then that's why we can think Ata to be
5th case.
6.
5th case. Look,
Then
you are
Sthani,
right.
what would be the
No.
Sthani then?
What is the sthani here in Ekaha Purva Parayoho?
That will be the Purva.
Both are sthani. How do you make both sthani? If you put one in 6th case, that alone will be sthani. How do you make both sthani?
Dual case.
No. Observe. The way to make both sthani is you put the preceding in 5th case and the succeeding in the 7th case. By using 7th case, you know the preceding is sthani. By using 5th case, you know the following is the sthani. So you connect, you bring two sthanis by using 5th and 7th. You will not find any sutra which is using 6th case in Eka Purva Parayoho.
Okay.
Observe that. The trick is this. Otherwise, if you have two words in 6th case, you won't know which is preceding, which is following. You have to do something else to give the relationship. Panini is brilliant. He did not put anything in 6th case. So if you looked at the word in 5th case, what do you know? Whatever follows must be the sthani.
Correct.
Correct? Therefore, ataha it will tell you what? Whatever follows must be sthani. All right. Gune should tell you what? Whatever precede must be sthani. Between them, is there a gap? No, it is samhitayam. Therefore, now, which is the sthani? Is it guna or is it ataha? Both are sthani. Ekaha purva parayoho. Understand that way. Because here we want to replace both the following and the preceding. Okay? And therefore, I'm saying in this section, you look at one word in 5th case, one in 7th case. Now, ataha 5th case, gune 7th case. And what is anuvritti from the previous sutra? Apadāntat. Okay. If somebody has people talking in the background, please mute yourself. Okay. Apadāntat. What is apadāntat? What will it go with? What case is apadāntat? Fifth case. Fifth case. Therefore, apadāntat is qualifying what?
Ataha.
Ataha. Correct. Therefore, apadāntat ataha means what? What is at?
Karam.
At is just a, not a, just a. Short a. Taparastat kalasya. Therefore, that at is what kind of an at now? Apadānta at. It is apadānta at. Means an at which is not at the end of a pada. That kind of an at, when it is followed by what? Guna. A guna letter. What is a guna letter? Adeng gunaha. Don't forget. So second sutra in the whole Ashtadhyayi. Adeng gunaha. At. A.
O.
Three things are guna. Alright. When three things are guna, now if any of those guna letters follow a short at which is not at the end of the pata, what will be the adesha? In the place of the preceding and the following, purva at, apadanta at, and the following guna letter, what is ekadesha? It is pararupam. What is pararupam?
The later.
Which is the letter here?
Apadānta.
Guna. Guna.
The guna
Guna.
letter, right?
Guna. Guna
Later
letter.
is guna letter, not apadanta. Again, I request you, please, if you answer, raise your hand, it will be better. If all of you mumble at the same time, it doesn't come clearly to me. Okay? I would appreciate that. So then what will happen? At and guna. At is followed by guna. What will be the replacement? One single replacement, which is guna letter. Is the sutra clear or unclear? So now let me again go to, let me go to the Word document. Okay. Ato gune. Ataha, panchami ekavachanam, gune. Achi, pararupam, apadantat, anuvritti. Adhikara, samhitayam, ekah purvaparayoho. Put them all together, what will you get? Samhitayam, they don't put that here, okay, in Ashtadhyayi. Samhitayam, apadantat ataha. When an apadanta at precedes and is followed by what? A guna, gune, pare. Purvaparayoho. What is purvapara? Sthani. So what can you say? Purvaparayoho sthane. What is adesha? Ekaha. And what is the ekaha? Pararupam. Coming from this anuvritti. Pararupam. So what is pararupam? Guna letter. Does it make sense? So now you look. Where have you seen this application of the sutra? So let us look at it quickly. I will use Ashtadhyayi for this. Give me 1 second. So Ashtadhyayi is here, and in Ashtadhyayi we are interested right now in the Dhatu Patha, and in that I am interested in an Atmane Pada word. I will use Labha, which we have seen before. Labha Dhatu. Now, what is the pratyayas in Labha Dhatu in Atmane Pada? You don't know right now, but if you go back and remember, we have studied all this very long ago. But you know there is an A here, right? Ta atam jha, tha sa tha jam, it vahi mahim, but it becomes A. Okay. Now, in Labhe, what happens really is you start like this. You start with Labdhatu. Okay. And you actually add it, but we have converted to A for now. Take it as A for your convenience right now. Labha plus A. And A is what kind of pratyaya? It's think pratyaya. Tinkshit sarvadhatukam. Therefore, and it is, I am doing Kartari Prayoga. Therefore, Shap will walk in. So what will you get? You will get Labh plus Shap plus A. Now, what is Shap content? Shap's content is what? A. A. Therefore, it will become what? Labha. Correct? And A. Now you tell me, what is the situation now? Is this a padanta or apadanta? What is padam?
Word.
Supting antam padam.
Padam.
Correct? Supting antam padam.
Padam.
Therefore, is it pada, labha? No, not yet. Only when you form the word, it will become pada. So it is apadanta at. And it's followed by what? A. Is A a guna letter? Yes, adeng gunaha. Therefore, labha plus A. Now, puro parayoho ekalesha kim? Pararupam. So what will end up with? So I have to write it as what? Labh, right? Plus a plus A. That's what it is really. Correct? This is what the form is. Now what should you do? This a and A in the place of both, what is the replacement? A, Pararupam. So what will end up with now? If Ato Gune was not there, what would have happened? Someone tell me? Yes, Harsha.
Vriddhi would have happened, sir.
Good. And what would that be?
Labhai.
Labhai. Correct. So this rule, Ato Gune, will help you in this apadānta. Means it's only in word formations. You don't have to worry about it when breaking words in a sentence. But when forming words, this will help you. Okay? So you want to find out, you can go and check this. I didn't show you in Ashtadhyayi because it'll seem to run too fast for you. So I just typed it. But if you want to go and check, how would you check it? You go to Labhe, you click on Labhe. What will you see? You will find here Labha plus A plus A Ato Gune. No? So A plus A became just A. That is what Ato Gune did. Correct? So that is a very useful sutra to have in view. Why? Because you will have guna letters following sometimes in some case endings. And when they come, if you don't know the sutra, see why I'm saying emphasizing this is because Subanta, I told you earlier, it is better to memorize forms. Tinganta, you cannot memorize forms. There are too many. You will die trying to do it. Therefore, it is good to be able to figure out what the forms will be, to some extent at least. And for that, if you know Tiptas G, etc., then you should know how to do it. And for Atmane Pada, this will be extremely useful. Okay? So this is what is the Ato Gune. There will be more examples, but we don't have to go too much into it. I mainly want you to remember it from the perspective of, the Tinganta Rupas when we derive them. And by the time we start deriving again, you would have forgotten this probably. But I'm hoping some of you will remember. Okay. So if we go back, 6197, right? Yeah. So now if you look, what are the examples they give here in Ashtadhyayi? See, Patha. Okay, not this. This won't be Anti. Yeah. Okay, interesting. See, look. Here also find now. See, I didn't think of it. Patanti. What will happen now? Look at the example here. Patha plus Anti. Patha plus Shap. A plus Anti. What should happen? Patha plus A plus Anti. What should happen? Yes, Harsha.
Savarna Dirgha Sandhi.
Correct. So it should be what? Pathanti. But what is the form you know?
Tanti.
Pathanti. How do you get that? Now look. A is apadantat. followed by what? A. Is a guna letter or not? It is. Therefore, this a followed by this a, what will happen? Not savarna dirgha sandhi. There is an apavada to that. It will become what? Ato gune. Because savarna dirgha sandhi, the sutra, has found its utility in so many places. Whereas ato gune will not apply if you do it, take it away. If you put savarna dirgha sandhi here also. Therefore, this will be a partial apavada to that. And therefore, you will apply ato gune and make it what? Pathanti. We have seen this before. We have derived patanti also. But at that time, I would have just told you, know it like this. Don't worry about it more. Okay? That's how you get patanti. Then, this for akara. See, adeng gunaha, right? At, A and O. He's giving an example for A, which we saw already. Labha. That is the example for A. Then, okare asya udaharanani na vidyante. Very simple. There are no examples for this. Don't look for one. Makes our life easy by telling us it's not there. Don't look around. Okay? This is what ato gune. This is clear? Questions, anybody? Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, that means that this Atoguna will be part of, we can say it is a Purva Rupa Sandhi? Pararupa
It is Pararupa. It is under Pararupadhikara. It is. But we don't use that because if you call Pararupa Sandhi, all those you should call Pararupa Sandhi, right? Everything in the Adhikara Pararupam. Where did we use the word Pararupa Sandhi? We used it for Shivoham Sandhi.
Yes.
Shivo Aham. Now, if you call this also Pararupa, you will be confused which one now. Up to you. If you are happy calling it both Pararupa, it's fine. But what I would do is this. I would say, you remember it's an Adhikara Pararupa. That's enough. Name is not important for us then. Okay? So, yes,
Yes,
Priyanka.
thank you so much.
Swamiji, why did you mention it's a partial apavada?
Because it's not for every situation you'll have that apavada, right?
Hmm.
See, Savarna Dirgha Sandhi has got so many possibilities, where it will apply.
Hmm.
But in some areas, this will kick in. That's all I meant. Partial means. Okay.
Hmm.
Because in some cases, what happens? Say, suppose we have At Gunaha. At followed by an Ik will take Guna. Now, when Vriddhi Sutra comes in, Echi, it will completely knock off At Gunaha. There is no partial business. Whole Sutra will go. Whereas Akasavarni Dirgha will apply in some cases, but some cases it won't apply. Apadānta is a key point there. One key point. The second one is what? Guna follows. E plus E, there is no problem. E plus E will be E only. But A plus A is not A always. Ato Guna can apply. That's why I said partial apavada. Okay? Alright. So this is one Apadānta rule. Another rule also important for us is in context of same Tinganta. And this we had seen when we looked at the Tadanta Vidhi, Tadadi Vidhi, etc. Because I used it as an example to show you then how the Paribhasha works. So the sutra is called Ato Dirgho Yani. Ato Dirgho Yani. Ato means Ataha, okay? Sandhi will happen like that. Ataha Dirghaha Yani. Okay? Now, this is in the 7th chapter, 7.3. Alright. Am I not sharing it right now? Give me 1 second. I think I didn't share it somehow. Give me a second. Thought I shared, but I didn't. Okay. Share. Now you should be able to see what I'm showing you. See the Word document?
Yes, Swami.
Okay. Yeah. So Ato Dirgho Yani. Ataha. Does anyone remember 7.3 means which adhikaras will be there? This requires more familiarity with Ashtadhyayi. May not have, may have. Just asking. Do you remember? Anybody remembers? Yes, Deepti.
Angasya.
Angasya. Good. It's right here, but Angasya. What does it mean? That in any sutra from 641 to the end of 74, the word Angasya will find an anuvritti. See, a question was asked. The question is, why sixth case in Adhikara? An Adhikara can have any case. And that case will have meaning. Okay? It's not meaningless. The case has meaning. Angasya means what? Sixth case means what? Either it's an adjective or it is a sthani. Is the whole anga the sthani? Then you have to remember paribhasha. Alontyasya. What will you replace? Not the whole thing. The antya al will be replaced. See, these things are all, everything has to be kept in view. So we have seen a few paribhasha there. What is alontyasya business? We saw if a sthani is anekach, right? And if you have an adesha, basic rule is the final al of the sthani will get replaced. But then, if it is anekach adesha, then the whole sthani will get replaced, not the final al. Right? So there are rules, but angasya sixth case can mean anything. If you look at adhikara, which we saw samhitayam, seventh case. Why seventh case? Because we are saying in a sandhi. Therefore, seventh case, in meaning. When you see pratyadhikara, it says what? Pratyaha parascha. What is the case? Pratyaha 1-1. Why? Because 1-1 is like an adesha. 1-1 tells for what is denoted. And therefore, the pratyaya is denoted in those sutras. What is this pratyaya? You know by looking at what is in 1-1 in that section. Right? So, every case in an adhikara has a value. Don't think that adhikara means what case should you use then? Only first case? No. When you have Sangya adhikara, first case will come. Like what? Last time we were looking is, there is this business of Prakriti Bhava we were looking at last time. Do you remember? Prakriti Bhava we were looking at? What is Prakriti Bhava? When this reason for sandhi is there, but sandhi doesn't take place. Right? It remains as it is. So in that context, we saw this sutra, which said what? Idude dvivachanam pragrahyam. And this word pragrahyam is what case? Prathama ekavachanam. Swami, it looks like dvivachanam to me. Is there. It is neuter, okay? Pragrahyam. 1-1. Now, this pragrahyam has got a anuvritti into the next few sutras. Therefore, if you go to the next sutra, what will it say? Adasaha mat idudet pragrahyam. Means what? What is pragrahyam is being defined in all these sutras. All right. So, the case of a letter, the case of a word in an adhikara is relevant. Don't assume any one case. It will be an appropriate case and number. And sometimes when it doesn't suit our taste or when it doesn't work properly for us, we are allowed to change the case and number. Panini does that. He doesn't want to again bring another word. It is too expensive. One more word in sutra, no. You are smart enough. I will tell you how to change the case. Change the case. It says Angasya, make it Angat. No trouble. Swami, you change the whole meaning. Yes, if Parampara says, you do it. Therefore, you can do what is called as Vibhakti Viparinama. You can change the case, Vibhakti, of a word in a sutra. How do I know when to do? Follow the Parampara. Look at what Kashikakara says. Look at what Prathamavarti says. You follow them. When in doubt, you follow. But the case can change. And adhikara, any word can have any case and number. Whatever Panini chose is the right case and number for it. Is this clear? Okay. And then another question was asked in the context also. What is the question? if we go to, are you seeing the Ashtadhyayi now? Yes?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So now in this, if we go into 3-1, 3-1, yeah, we are there. Now, do you see a word dhatoho here? How far is it going? 22. Goes up to 22. All right. Is that right? It must be 317. Yeah. So this should be dhatoho here. Yeah, this dhatoho will go up to 22. Why is it showing only va here? I don't know why it's showing only va. So now just give me 1 second. Why has she marked it that way? Is the book also saying it? Let me just check that. 317. I could think. Okay, this is 3122. Let's double check with Ashtadhyayi because I don't want to make an error. You're seeing Ashtadhyayi, right? Oh, this won't help. I have to go to the next sutra. All right. So, see this dhatoho coming from 3122. Yeah. So the
Swamiji, we need to go one step back, not on 23.
huh?
To know if Dhatu is coming.
I know that's what I did, but what? No, give me a break, okay? What I was looking at is I was wondering why she didn't mark the word dhatoho here for 22. That's all I was looking at, okay? Because see, dhatoho karmanaha samana kartrikat ichchayam va. So she says karmana goes up to 10, ichchayam goes up to 9, va goes up to 22. Dhatoho she missed somehow. Looks like. Dhatoho is going up to 22. I know that for a fact. Okay. So dhatu adhikara, there is a dhatoho which is going up to 22. If you go to 23 now, 22 is here, okay? Up to here it came. Then what happens if you go further, you will find one more adhikara will begin, which is 3191 or 90. Dhatu 91. You see that? Dhatu. So Swami, are there two dhatu adhikaras? Yes, there are two dhatu adhikaras. Why not? He has a reason for it, okay? He doesn't want the word dhatoho in the sutras in between. No problem. Okay? So, two adhikaras are fine. And even if it came, see the point is 3-1, give me 2 more seconds, okay?
3-1-22 only.
Give me 1 second, okay? 3-1-22, I want to go to, sorry, I should go there. 3-1-22. Yeah. So this dhatoho, here's one more dhatoho, right? This is one question asked, not about that, not about 317. Dhatoho is going up to what? 90. This dhatoho is going up to 90. Then why do you need one more dhatoho from 91? Is the question clear? You have one dhatoho going from 3122 to 3190, right? Now you have one more dhatoho beginning at 91. Why not you extend this all the way and not create one more sutra called dhatoho? That's the question asked. And the answer to that question is because Panini has some purpose for it. Nothing is done without a purpose. And the purpose there is this 91, what he says dhatuho, this dhatuho is what will tell you which sutras, which pratyas are krit pratyas. Only sutras in this dhatu adhikara will get the sangya of krit pratyaya. Otherwise, they will not be called krit pratyas. They are being added to dhatu. Even pratyas from 3122 to 3190 are being added to a dhatu. Yet the pratyas only from here till 34117 will get the sangya of krit pratyas. Okay, this is an aside. I answered some question which I suddenly remember I had to answer. All right, so that is done. Now let us go back to our document. So here, why did I go all over the place? I went from Angasya. Angasya is Adhikara. Adhikara, why sixth case? That's where I started with. Okay, I don't forget what I'm trying to tell you. So Angasya. Now, here, Ataha Angasya, both are in sixth case. What will happen therefore? You have to use Tadanta Vidhi. It will become what? Adantasya Angasya. Alright? Adantasya Angasya. When, what is the condition? Yani. Yani is seventh case. It's an adjective to what? Sarvadhatuke Pratyaye. Pratyaya is given. When Anga is Adhikara, Pratyaya must follow. So when a Yanyadi Pratyaya follows, Tadadi Vidhi applies. Yani becomes Yanyadau Pratyaye Sarvadhatuke Pratyaye Pare. So when an Adanta Anga is followed by Yanyadi Sarvadhatuka Pratyaya, then what happens? What happens? Adantasya Angasya Alontya Vidhi apply. Alaha, Antyaha Alaha, Sthane. What is the Adesha? Dirghaha. We have covered this when I did Tadantavidhi, Tadadividhi. You can go and look at it again. Okay? We have done it for sure. Because I want to explain Alontyasya, Tadantavidhi, Tadadividhi at that time. But what is happening is, see, this Atahangas Saradhatuke is not complete. What should you do now? You take this, and you enhance it. What should you do? Ataha plus anta you add. It will become what? Adantasya. What did we do? We took the word at pratipadika, which is in sixth case, added anta, and then redeclined it in sixth case. Adantasya angasya. Then yani, what do? You change it to yanyadau. And what is the word you imagine in between, which is there anyway? Pratyaye. Because pratyaya must follow for something to be an anga. So yanyadau pratyaye. What do you add after that? Parataha. When it follows. What is this? Adesha? Dirghaha. Adeshaha bhavati. What does it mean? When an adanta anga is immediately followed by a yanyadi sarvadhatuka pratyaya. What is yanyadi? What is yany? Aivun, rilik, eung, ayauch, haya. Ya came there. Haya varat, lan, nyamangananam. Right? So what is yany going to be now? Jhabhan. Jhabhan will come after that. So you should know what is yany. So when yanyadi sardhatuka pratyaya follows, then this at at the end of an anga will become dirgha. As much as the example. This is the story. Right? So, and the example for that is what? When you're doing this, the mi vahamaha. Mi vahamaha, bhu dhatu you start with, what do you get? Bhu you add shap, you will get bho guna plus a. Shap content is a. This will become what? Bhava. We have done all this a lot, so I'm assuming you'll remember something, okay? Bhava, then bhava plus me. What should it be? Bhavami. But what is the form? Bhavami. Bhava plus vaha, what should it be? Bhavavaha. What is it form? Bhavavaha. Bhava plus maha. Bhavamaha, not bhavamaha. What explains all these three forms? See, bhava is adanta anga. Makara, is it yanya or not? Haya varat, lan, nyamangananam. All nasals are included in yanya, okay? Is this a nasal or not? Some people get confused. Swamiji, I is followed by E. No, I is followed by ma, okay? Me is equal to what? Just in case you have the doubt. Ma is Ma and E, okay? Not E and Ma. So, therefore, it is Yany. Since it is Yany, what will happen since it is Yany? Yanyadi pratyaya is following. And therefore, this A will take Dirgha Adesha and you'll end up with what? Bhava. Then me becomes Bhavami. Is clear? This is what is happening with this thing. But here, as I said, Adantasya, Angasya, what should you add? One more. Antyasya, Alaha, Sthane. Sorry, trying to type fast without looking, and it all goes messed up. Hey, what's going on? Oh, caps lock has become on. All right. So where did you get this word Antyasyalaha? From the Paribhasha Sutra, Alontyasya. Alontyasya, Nicha. These are all sutras we saw in one section. Okay. So when you add this, what you'll get now? Adantasya, an anga, which is ending in at, its final, what is al? Aivun, rilik, final is hal. What is al? All the letters are called al. All is al, very simple. Al is all. Remember it that way. Al is all. Therefore, any one letter, final letter, in its place, what will happen when a yanyadi sadhatka pratyaya follows? The final letter will be replaced by its dirgha. Therefore, you get dirgha. And since the word dirgha is there, I can add one more. I can add one more here. I can say antyasya achaha, because a dirgha cannot happen to anything except achaha. That's a sutra, achaha, adhikara. I mean, Paribhasha Sutra. We have looked at it briefly once. You may not remember all of this, okay? Unless you kept track of everything we've done so far, it will be a little hard. But this sutra tells you what? When an adanta anga is followed by a pratyaya which is beginning with yan letter, the at, the takar, the final a of the anga will be replaced by a. This much you remember. Okay? So these are the rules which are for apadānta again. And it'll help you with all your patami, patavaha, and many more like that. Okay? So we have derived these forms long ago, latlakara. This should help you know why it happens. If it doesn't interest you, don't worry. You remember the rules, you remember the forms, and you're done. Because you don't need these rules to break sandhi in sentences. Okay? Yes, Priyanka.
So it says adantasya angasya.
Correct.
And like acha would also not really make a difference. It's always ending in akara.
What will not make a difference?
Adding al or ach.
No. Al is to say adanta anga, all right. Suppose I say adantasya angasya dirgha. Which letter in anga will you make dirgha? Whole anga you'll do? Which
So it's
letter?
not a last letter.
Therefore, you need a specifically a clarity about which letter of that anga, of the sthani. Whole thing is not a sthani. Can the whole thing be a sthani? It can be if it's anekacha desha. So if you go back, if you
Anga needs to be adanta, but dirgha can happen to ach.
one letter, not the whole anga, correct?
Right.
It has to happen to one letter, and that one letter is what we are interested in. So if you want to recall, you have to go to the first chapter, first pada, and you will find, you will find all that. See here, these sutras we did together. Alontyasya, not
So we
visible?
got, yeah.
Please.
Okay. Share it. I'll share it. Give me a second. Trust the share. Okay. Yeah. See, alontyasya, nicha, Adehe parasya anekalshit sarvasya. You will find all these we have done together as Paribhasha Sutras. These are very critical. So this are all to tell you what part of sthani should get replaced. What does this one say? Antya al should get replaced. This is general rule. This is the utsarga, general rule. But then if it is anekal or shit adesha, then the whole sthani should be replaced. Whole sthani should be replaced. What is an example for this? You see dhatu as is there, right? If you try to do an ardha dhatu kalakara with us, you will not find us form. Us will become bhu. Whole of us will become bhu. Why? Because bhu, aste bhu sutra. Bhu. How many alls are there? Bhakara, ukara. Two. Is it ekal or anekal?
Anekal.
Anekal. Since the adesha is anekal, it will become what? Whole of sthani will be replaced. So you will not replace sakara of us. You will not make it abhu. You will replace whole of us with bhu. Am I making sense? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. So if you now go to this fellow, and if we go for aster, see aster bhu, you go there and you will find what? As dhatu becomes bhavita. You look at as dhatu. Another way of looking at it is you look at as dhatu, and in as dhatu we are interested in what? In asabhuvi. Okay, don't look at other as. Asabhuvi. In this, now you look at this. What happened here? Does it look like as dhatu or bhu dhatu to you? Babhuva, babhuva. So it's exactly like bhu. Look at this lut lakar. What will you find? Bhavita, bhavita. Or does it look like as or bhu? If I ask you what dhatu, what will you say? Bhu. Right? Look at lit lakara, not asishyati, bhavishyati. Why? Whole as is replaced by bhu. How will you make it whole thing go? Sutra says aster bhuhu. So we are noticing that right now in our current situation, this utsarga works. Adantasya angasya. Okay, anga, whole anga you'll replace? No. Alontyasya. That is what alontya vidhi is. So you take the word alontya and add it there. Alontyasya. Right? That tells you the final al. Now what is adesha? Dirgha. Can you do dirgha for kakara or yakara? No. Dirgha will have to be what? Has to be a vowel. Therefore, even though alontyasya doesn't tell whether it's halanta or ajanta, you can add another word, achaha. So you know that the final ach of an adantanga, what will it be? It will be a, okay? Anyway, no trouble. The final at, the a of an adantanga, when followed by a yanyadi pratyaya, will be replaced by its dirgha form a. Therefore, bhava will become bhava. Okay. So the criticality is to understand, if you want to enjoy sutras, you have to remember the paribhashas. Otherwise, what I'm telling you will look like Greek and Latin. We have covered this extensively long ago. You have to go and look at it. Weekly class, that's a problem. We have too much gap. Okay. All right. Then I have put together a summary for you for the last several weeks of work. Okay. So it's easy for you. If you can't remember sutras, at least remember what the rules will be. When ak precedes and savarna ak follows, both are replaced by savarna dirgha. When avarna is followed by ik, both are replaced by guna. Sutra will say that guna achi, but I have changed it to what? Ika, because there are apavadas. Okay. When avarna is followed by H, avarna means what? A or A. Followed by H. Both will be replaced by what? Vriddhi, Vriddhirechi. When Ik is followed by Ach, Iko and Achi. That's the rule. Iko and Achi. But what did I put here? Asavarna Ach. So that you don't have to say it is an apavada, is there a savarna dirgha. Asavarna means what? When E is there, it is not followed by E. Any ach other than E. When U is there, not followed by U, any other ach, then what will happen? Yan is the adesha. Okay. So E U R L will get replaced by Yavarala. Then what? If it's padanta eng followed by at, what will happen? Both are replaced by Purarupa. Right? It is apavada to what? Echo ayavayavaha. Engaha padantat ati sutra. We've seen all these sutras. I'm only putting it in a tabular form for you so that you have it in your notes and you know what is a summary of what we have seen so far. Okay. This is not so important. If the at happens in visarga followed by eng, then pararupa comes. Ignore this if you don't want to worry too much about it. It's not a critical rule. Then H-O-I-Y-A-V-A. If H is followed by Ach, it is replaced by Aya, Ava, Aya. What is replaced? Only the preceding, not both. 6178 is not in the Ekaha Puruparayoho Adhikara. Right? Then Padanta Yakara Vakara, when followed by Ash, there's an optional Lopa. It's elided. I forgot to write that here. Optionally elided, okay? Otherwise, trouble. Shakalishyamatena. Then what we saw today, apadānta rules. Apadānta at followed by guna, both are replaced by pararupa guna. It is a vriddhi apavada. And adanta, anganta at I put deliberately to show you what is really the change. At the end of an anga, followed by a yanya at the beginning of pratyaya. Then the preceding is replaced by dirgha. Okay. So this is all that ach sandhi. Okay. That's all, only one small table. Not much. Clear? Clear, but Swamiji can't remember. That's understandable. I am with you. So the summary should help you. It'll be in your notes. You can go look it up. And each of them will be linked to Ashtadhyayi Sutra. If you click, you will go there and you can see more. So I'm trying to make your life easy, but how much easy can I make it? Finally, if you give a banana, you remove the peel and give it, still the fellow has to eat. That much you have to do. Okay? If you're Valapala Somberi, then you're in trouble. You can't do anything more with that. So that much you have to do. But it's not hard. All right. 720. Okay. I had come with a desire to introduce Visarga Sandhi today, but I have killed most of my time, spent most of time already. I will still introduce it for you. Basics. Visarga in general is not understood clearly out. I mean, how Panini looks at it, the normal people without Panini cannot understand it that way. Okay. Now, when we say Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramaha, is it Visarga or not? It is Visarga. Okay. But you know what? You cannot write Ramaha unless you know what follows. You cannot write. When you're declining, you know nothing else follows. It's declining. Just declining. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. That is called Avasana. Avasana means what? A pause. When you're declining, will you say Rama, 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 Rama? Then you won't understand which is which. It will become like one mass instead of 24 forms, okay? 21 plus 3, 24. Right? So what do? You pause after each word. That pause is called virama, rest. Somebody is tired, back is hurting, they need to rest. So that is called virama. And viramo avasanam, definition of Panini. That pause is called avasana. Avasana is a technical word. A pause, verbal, orally when you chant, when you read, there's a pause. That is called avasana. End of a sentence is avasana. End of a shloka, avasana. See, when we chant Gita verses, the way we chant it, we split it in quarters. Therefore, every quarter will be what? Avasana. And that avasana means samhitayam is broken. Samhita is what? Parasannikarshah samhita. Should be very close. No gap, no rest. If you rest, tat, sat, chit. Avasana. Sat, chit. Say it quickly. No gap. Sat chit. It has to be sat chit, not sat chit. Sandhi has to happen. Samhitayam sandhi. Avasana chit. Sandhi na karya. Therefore, when you split Gita in padas, we have to now know how to break sandhi. Okay? That's why there are books printed by Chinmaya Mission and our Jaipur Ashram, I think, which gives you the split of sandhi in every quarter. So if you don't know how to do sandhi, use that book to chant the Gita for a group chanting. There are people who will argue that is wrong. You should only do one line at a time. One line is avasana at the end. That is why you don't do sandhi between last letter of first line and first word of next line. You don't do. Avasana is there. It is not samhita. Okay? Veda generally, it's called samhita patha. Whole Veda is to be chanted continuously. Okay? Why did I go there? We were looking at Rama. How can you say Rama? Because there is an avasana. That's all my intention was, okay? So now, the fact is, the visarga, understand, language is what we know. Now, Panini has to explain the whole language grammar rules. For that, he comes up with own funny ideas sometimes. This is one of those ideas now. Okay? He says that a padānta sakara, let it be replaced by room. Adesha is room. Room means what? Repha, ra, u, and a anunasika. Why anunasika? Yes, Harsha.
It becomes an ith letter.
Good. What is the sutra?
Halantyam.
Not halantyam. Previous to that. Ajanunasika.
Upadeshe
Upadeshe ajanunasika it. Correct. Thank you, Deepti. So the point is what? You remember that. It's good. I'm very happy. So, therefore, room. What's the content? Ra. Okay. A padānta sakara is replaced by ra. No conditions. Padānta sakara is replaced by ra. Room. Why room? Because ra is different from room. Room's content is ra, but ra's expansion is not always room. See, to say ra, I could say room, I could say ri, I could say ra. All of them will be ra. So by seeing ra, you cannot say what the adesha was, whether room or ra, you can't tell. Are you with me? So room is different from ra, rupa wise. Content wise ra only. Are you with me? See, when you have ith letters, you can use any ith letter to get it knocked out. Correct? Halantyamit. Suppose I say an, ak, ach, pach. What will you get? I shouldn't change the letters. I should say an, al, up, at. Halantyamit. What is remaining? Ah. Are they all same? Content same. But they're very different pratyayas. You remember? Shap, shan, right? Sha, shna. How are they different? Some becomes ardhatuka, something is sardhatuka, right? Tinkshit sardhatukam. Just that ith letter makes a difference. Here also, ru is with ith letter. Drop the ith, it is ra. But sometimes Panini wants you to work only with ru, not with ra. So he decides when it will be ru, not you, not me. So what is ru? The only place where not, I mean, there are a few sutras, but the primary one is what? Sasa jusho ruhu. That sa. Don't worry about the whole sutra. You remember it as saha ruhu for now. Padanta sakara will be replaced by ru. Why are you going there, Swamiji? Because that is the mother of visarga. That ru is the mother of all visargas. Without ru, no visarga will be born. Pregnancy is ru. Okay? Ru has come. Now, this ru, when will it become visarga? I hope you all know what is visarga, okay? What is visarga? Those two circles, not really dots, two circles are visarga. Rama followed by two little circles. That is called visarga. Therefore, ardha visarga will be what? Semicircle. That's how it is placed. You remove the top, ardha visarga. Don't think of it as dot. Good way to look at it is two circles. Okay? It's little things, but I find them amusing at times, to know this detail. It's good fun. So, now, yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, is the Artha Visarga, will there be two semicircles?
Correct. You take two circles, lop off the top semicircle from the top and lop off the bottom circle from the bottom. What will you get now? You will get like two C's. That's what you write as, Upadhamaniya and Jihvamuliya. It's called Ardha Visarga. And literally you write it half circles. Okay? All right. So now Ru is sitting there. When will Ru come? A Padanta Sakara will become Ru. This is clear? Now, when I say Rama, what is the pratyaya I add? Sup. Su aujas. What is the content of su aujas? Su. What is the content of su?
Sa.
Sakara. Is it Padanta or not now? Subantuptingantam Padam. Therefore, is it Padanta Sakara or not?
Yes. Yes.
Are you with me? Neeru? Comfortable? Okay. Padanta Sakara. So what should happen to that now? Ru.
Refa, it will become.
It'll be, don't say Ru. Don't say Refa. Refa is Ra. I'm saying Ru. Mind the difference. Ru is Ra. Ra is not Ru. I want to say Ru. Important. Okay? So what will become now? Ramaru. Okay? Drop the eighth letter. What is it? Ramar. That is how Tamilians will call Rama. They will not say Rama. They'll say Ramar. There's some grammar there. Okay? Ramar. Okay. Now you have Ramar sitting there. When does Ramar become Ramaha? See, have you heard this verse? Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate. Why Ramo Rajamani? Why not Ramar Rajamani? Asti kinchit tatra. So the point is, now you note this. When does the visarga get born? Only if this room is immediately followed by either a pause, avasana, or a khar. Or a khar. What is khar now, Swamiji? You're asking me to remember too many things. What is khar? Come on. Aivun, rilik, eung, ayauch, hayavarat, lan, nyamangananam, jhabany, ghadadash, jhabagadash, kapha chatata chatatau, kapai shashasar. So what is khar? Tell me. What is, yeah, Harsha?
Class 2, class 1 plus sibilants except ha.
Wonderful. Perfect. That's the way to remember it. Class 2, class 1 plus sibilants except ha. Perfect. They are also called hard consonants. By some people, they are called hard consonants. Hush is called soft consonant. Hayavarattu, Jabagadadash. Okay? Hard consonants. So now, when can a visarga be born? Only if ru is followed by either a khar letter or it is a pause, avasana. Kharavasanayoho visarjaniyaha iti sutra. Khara avasanayoho, seventh case dual. When it is followed by khar or avasana, ru is replaced by visarjaniya. What is visarjaniya? Visargaha. Okay? Don't give any meaning. Visarjaniya is just this character. All right? Now, once, so when will it be born? Only if it is followed by avasana. Right? Not otherwise. So what happens now? You take hari. Hari. Hari, soup, you add su. What will become? Haris. Haris will become what? Hariru. Hariru plus atra. What will happen? Is it followed by khar? Atra. No. Is it followed by avasana? No. So what will it become? Harir will become harir. What will the sandhi be? Hariratra. Sandhi is hariratra. Is there a sandhi at all? No. One rule. That ru came in the place of sakara. Visarga is not even born, but it is called visarga sandhi in modern language now. In all books, you will call it under visarga sandhi. But really, visarga didn't even get born. If you ask Panini Maharaj, he will say, Kutra asti visarga. Visarga was not even born because there is no khara or avasana. It was ru. Get the idea? So when will you see a visarga? Only if khar or avasana follows. Avasana you can ignore in general, except when you're talking. So when do you get visarga? Only when khar follows. Visarjaniya. 2 circles. Now, will it always remain once it comes? No. It is subject to further karya. So visarga will get replaced by other fellows. Okay? The general replacement for visarga is sakara. Utsarga. Visarjaniyasya saha. Swamiji, why create so much trouble? Why not straight away take ru to saha? No, there is a reason why we do everything. So first ru will come, ru will become visarjaniya, visarga, then visarga will become sakara. So when can that sakara come? Only if it's followed by khar, because there is no visarjaniya otherwise. Then that sakara, will it remain sakara all the time? No. Sakara, depending on what follows, it will change again. Okay? So what they normally call visarga sandhi, we can divide in 2 sections. One is what happens to ru. Does it become visarga or not? And second is, once visarga is born, what further changes happen to that? Are you with me? So we have to look at it as 2 things now. When does a visarga really come? And what further changes can happen to the visarga? These are 2 we have to look at. So general tradition is in the Kaumudi Granthas is to first do ach sandhi. First prakarana is called sangya prakarana. Then next is sandhi prakarana. In that, first is ach sandhi, which we have done just now, followed by vyanjana sandhi, followed by visarga sandhi. I decided this time to change the order because I felt for all of you, if I cover visarga sandhi, your ability to split our lines in bhashyam may become better. because I see more of that. I observed, I looked at 1-2 sections of Bhashyam carefully, and I said that will give you more miles for the effort. Quicker, you enjoy, when you see results, you enjoy learning more. So I said, let me first give you one laddu, visarga sandhi laddu. Then we will go to vyanjana sandhi. And it will fit in a way. We'll make it fit well. Okay? So general arrangement is what? You start with padānta sakara. And remember, the most common padānta sakara example will be what? Su. Don't worry too much about it. Where do you add su? To every blessed shabda. Whether it's Rama or Hari or Guru or Marut, what will you do? You have to add su. What happens to su, we don't know. When you add to Marut, it vanishes. It vanishes. Why? There is some rule to make it vanish. Alright? So in all halantas, it will just vanish. In ajantas, it will survive. Okay? And that surviving fellow, if it is followed by kar or avasana, it will become room. Then that room will become a visarjaniya. And that visarjaniya, room will become visarjaniya. Then visarjaniya will become sakara. Then that sakara can undergo changes. So if you understand the whole journey of the padānta sakara, you will know what is visarga and the rules for it. That's how we're going to deal with it. That's how Panini's rules are built. I'm not doing anything new. I'm only trying to understand and share with you how Panini Maharaj presents it. But it will be very different from the conventional way of looking at Visarga Sandhi. Because we are splitting in 3 parts. Okay? So we will do this. So what will happen now? The first part is just Ru came. When Ru is sitting there, what all will happen to Ru if this Kar or Avasana doesn't follow? That's one bunch of things. Then if Visarga has come, then what all changes will let go? That will be Vyanjana Sandhi. Because now you have Sakara. Visarga has become Sakara. Sakara followed by any other Vyanjana will go under Vyanjana Sandhi. Like what they call Shtutvam, Shtutvam, all those will come there. So it will dovetail into Vyanjana Sandhi. Alright? So this is what we are going to enter into in more detail. So I've given you a trailer today. Alright? Movie will follow. And I think you'll all enjoy the movie. Because what will happen then, once you know how this Visarga works, then we saw just now, we saw some sutra where it says, Alontyasya. Why Alontyasya? Why not Alaha Antyasya? Why that? How it became Alo? Hello? How it become Alo? That's our problem. Then I will tell you, Alaha became Alarun. Okay? Alarun, before it, what is following Alarun? Antyasya. Or is it a Kar? No. Is it Avasana? No. Therefore, what? It never became a Visarga. That Ru will, when some conditions are there, when that Ru is preceded by an A and followed by a short A also, then that A will become O. It become Alo. Alo Antyasya. Alo is now what? Eng. Padānta Eng. Followed by what? A. At. Therefore, what? Enga Padāntat Ati. Alontyasya. One avagraha will walk in. Whole story is over. Alontyasya is covered. Like this, you will be able to see how to split. Why O comes, why Ra remains, like I'll tell Hari Ratra, Vayu Ratra, Agnir Jwalati. Why not Agni Jwalati? A Jakara is neither Kar nor Avasana. Very straightforward. So once you understand this key, a lot of Visarga Sandhi headaches become simple. When can Visarga be there? only if khar follows. Simplify, remove avasana. Only if khar follows. What is khar? Second, first, and sibilants, except hakara. काम हो गया. This much alone is visarga sandhi. Okay. But if you ask people, they will say visarga sandhi is like a milestone. A lot of people get knocked out from Panini study by the time they reach that milestone because it's too complicated. We'll make it simple, okay? Not complicated. Very simple for us. All right? So that is what will come in the movie. Now, 7:45. If you are happy, we will do one verse from our Mandana Mishra conversation so that we have some fun. Okay? We'll look at it. Share. Okay. So I have so many sutras for you waiting. Now, hope you remember our Mandana Mishra conversation. Okay? Mandana Mishra and Shankara are having a conversation. And Mandana is abusing Shankara. Shankara responds back in equal measure, happily. Okay. So now Mandana is talking now. We had seen up to 29th verse. And now we look at 30th. Okay? Kwa Brahma, kwa Chaturmedhaha, kwa Sannyasa, kwa Vakalihi, Swadvanna Bhakshakamena, Veshoyam Yoginam Dhritaha. This is Mandana Mishra. All right? Answer of Shankara is what? Kwa Sargaha, kwa Duracharaha, kwa Agnihotram, kwa Vakalihi, kwa Agnihotram, kwa Vakalihi, Manye Maithuna Kamena, Veshoyam Karminam Dhritaha. We have to look at this pair together, okay? Will take 10 minutes. If some of you need to run, you run and look at the video later, okay? You are allowed to go because there is extra time now. We are on borrowed time. Okay. Kwa Brahma, kwa Chaturmedhaha, kwa Sannyasaha, kwa Vakalihi. What is kwa now? What is kwa? You don't know what is kwa. Kwa normally has the meaning of kutra. Saptami artha. Okay? Kutra. That same meaning will be with the kim pratipadika. You make some change. It becomes kwa. But we will look at it a little here. Look at this. Kwa. Kwa in the Shabdakosha. Kwa. Kasmin. See, kasmin means 7th case. Sutra also gives you 5, 3, 12. Kimo at. Why is kimo at? Kimaha at. Why kimo? I told you just now. That rule, same rule. Okay, kimo at. So then, here the interesting part is that, you know, atyanta asammavanaya, asambhav, not sammava, it's a typo here, okay? It should be atyanta asambhavanayam panditaihi kvadvayam prayujyate. Asambhavayam, asambhavana. Asambhavana is what? Impossibility. Sambhavana, possibility. Asambhavana, impossibility. Atyanta asambhavana, extreme impossibility, means not possible at all. In such a context, they will use multiple times the word kwa, not one. Suppose I say Ramaha kwa means where is Rama? That is clean, that is kasmin, right? Kwa asti Ramaha, kwa gataha, etc. I can say. But now this is when you use multiple kwas, it has an extra meaning. What is the extra meaning? It shows impossibility. Okay. So with that context, we look at the verse. Otherwise, it won't be making sense to us. Kwa Brahma. See, Shankara is supposed to be doing what? What is his whole pursuit in life? Brahma Vidya, Brahman. So Mandana Mishra asks, Kwa Brahma? Kwacha Durmedha? What is the pratipadika in durmedhas? Durmedhas is the pratipadika, and it will decline as what? Durmedhaha, durmedhasau, etc. Vedaha, vedasau, vedasaha. Okay. So durmedhaha is singular. Don't take it plural. Durmedha means bad, buddhi which works in wrong way. Durmedha, not sumedha. Dur means always trouble. Kva brahma, kva cha durmedhaha, kva sanyasaha, kva va kalihi. 4 times kva is not once, 4 times. Means what? Brahman and your buddhi, Shankara, Durmedha, can they ever be together? It's an impossibility. And this, this Durmedha and sannyasa or sannyasa in Kali Yuga, it's an impossibility. It's all just acting, okay? There is no real sannyasa. Therefore, you know what? Your whole business that I am after only Brahman, etc., is all impossibilities. Asambhavana, atyanta asambhavana. How indicated? Just by the word kwa, 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 kwa. Okay. So you know what, Shankara? I'll tell you. Swadu anna bhaksha kamena. Swadu anna, what will it become? Which sandhi? Now you should become more, you should help me more, okay? I don't know sandhis. What is swadu anna? Swadu anna. Which sandhi? Yes, Deepti.
Echoyavaya.
Huh? Swadu anna. Ukara.
Sorry, it is yan sandhi.
Ah, wake up. Good.
Sorry.
Swadu anna. Good. Swadu anna. Therefore, swadu means tasty. Swadu anna bhaksha kamena. What does it mean? Swadu anna, you understand. Tasty food. Bhaksha, consumption, eating. Swadu anna bhaksha kamaha, the desire to eat tasty food. Swadu anna bhaksha kamena, owing to a desire for eating tasty food. Or that fellow can be called swadu anna kamaha, one who desires to eat tasty food. But better to take as the desire itself. On account of a desire to eat tasty food, veshaha ayam, veshoyam, visarga sandhi. Without visarga being one, visarga sandhi, okay? Veshoyam. Because veshaha is not followed by kar. Room becomes o. Veshoyam. This dress, which dress? Sannyasi dress. Ayam veshaha. By whom is it taken on? Yoginam dhritaha. You yogis have put on this dress so that you can come and ask for bhiksha. And what kind of bhiksha? Can me give me some good bhiksha, kheer, etc. That's what you guys want. Whether you ask for it or not, that is what you want. Because you will project yourself so that people will say, oh, Swamiji has come, I have to make some good food. Swamiji, would you like some kheer? Of course I would like some. Why not? Chocolate? Yeah. Ice cream? Yeah, why not? Bring everything in. That is my desire. What's why? I'm not saying, okay, Mandana Mishra is saying, that is why you have taken sannyasa vesha. Shankara says, okay, I will tell you what my take on it is. Same reply, okay, similar. Kva sargaha, kva duracharaha, kva kwagnihotram, kva va kalihi. Hey, you want to go to Swarga, Mimamsaka, Purva Mimamsaka. You think there is no moksha in Jivan Mukti. You have to do karma phala has to come to you. Kurvanneva karmani jijivishet. You should like to live doing karmas all your life. Therefore, your commitment is to what? Swarga. But where is Swarga and where is Durachara? Your achara is not okay. Durachara. And where is Agnihotra in Kali Yuga? He said, where is sannyasa in Kali Yuga? Shankara says, where is Agnihotra in Kali Yuga? Nobody does, okay? You can see right now. Nobody is doing. Kwagnihotram kwava kalihi. You know what? Karminam, by the people who do karma kanda, vesho ayam dhritaha. Which vesha? Grihastha vesha. Not sannyasa vesha. Grihastha vesha. By what? Manye maithuna kamena. because you want to have a relationship with a woman, with your wife. On account of that, you have become what? A grihastha. So he said you have taken sannyasa for bhiksha, good bhiksha. Shankara says you have taken grihasthashrama for the sake of living together, cohabiting. That is all your purpose is. Okay, so we will stop there. So this is the whole way these two are talking. Now it's almost ended. This section of fun section is almost ended now. We will see what happens when we meet again. All right. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. In these both verses, that Kamena will be Hetau Tritiya. Note. So you should note now which Karakas, which sense they're used in. That's how language grows on us. And as we know more Sandhi, hopefully in the next few weeks, you will know how to break Sandhis also. We will arrive there soon. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, I might be wrong, and this is related to Mandan Mishra conversation.
Okay.
So is it not karmani prayoga if it is like tritiya and tritaha, like that?
Could be. Let me examine that carefully. Give me 1 second. Let me share the screen so all of you can see it, and then I will come back to that. Okay. Okay, we're there. Share first. Share. Okay. So now let me get my Word document. Okay. So Swadvanna bhaksha kamena veshoyam yoginam dhritaha. So yoginam veshaha dhritaha. Right? Now, how will you bring in kamena as a karta? It won't work. Unless we say Swadu anna bhaksha kama is a person. Let me see the next. Possible. Maithuna kamaha, swadu anna kamaha. Otherwise, I'll have to say yoginam veshaha. Give me 1 second, okay? Can be taken both ways. Can be taken as on account of that. Then karta, you'll have to say, is not said here. By whom it's not said. Because yoginam vesha, who will wear, yogi will wear. Grihastha vesha, who will wear, grihastha will wear. Therefore, I can say it is on account of that. Or I can say it is a person. The grihastha is maithuna kamaha and yogi is swadvanna bhaksha. So if I make it a bahuvrihi, both, swadvanna bhaksha kamaha is what? Swadvannam bhakshitum kamaha yasya saha will become swadvanna bhaksha kamaha. Then you can say it is karmani and you can bring in that sense of kartari tritiya. Other ways, I'm saying you take it as bhave and you take it along with that out of the desire, on account of the desire, this has been worn by you. I'll supply tvaya because that's the real intention, tvaya, by you. We're not talking of some fellow who is interested in Swadvarna Bhiksha, by you. Therefore, I would prefer to take it as the desire, on account of desire. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay. But valid point. Anything else? Any other question? Good. So I will leave you to it. See, don't let things make you feel, troubled by so many things I need to understand. Until you keep up pace with all that's in the background, you will not understand everything I'm saying. Some losses will be there. T&D losses, transmission and distribution losses will be there. Can't avoid it. But we try to remember, and each time I mention it again, hopefully it brings back something to your mind. Okay. So thank you all. I will stop the recording now.